Three billionaires bet $1.5 million they could make me fall in love. What they didn't know, I was the one holding all the cards. 48 hours earlier. Interior, Victoria Sloan's penthouse office, Miami. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the Biscayne Bay. A massive yacht, the Meridian, sits anchored in the distance like a promise. Victoria Sloan, 45, elegant and cold as winter, sits behind a glass desk, 3 crystal champagne flutes arranged before her like chess pieces. Across from her sit 3 men who could stop traffic. Lucas Reed, 34, 6'3", Navy captain's uniform, the kind of man who commands rooms without saying a word. Tanner Castellano, 29, Mediterranean features, designer everything, phone in hand with 50 million followers watching his every perfectly curated move. Andre Wallace, 32, muscular, scarred hands, the controlled stillness of someone trained to kill, eyes that miss nothing. Victoria smiled like she'd already won a game they didn't know they were playing. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. I have a proposition that will interest you all. Setting down whiskey glass. Victoria, you don't call meetings like this for propositions. You call them for games. What are you playing at? Perceptive as always, Lucas. In 3 days, a new stewardess starts work on the Meridian. Her name is Athena Hart. She's 27, intelligent, beautiful, and completely desperate. Looking up from phone for the first time. Desperate how? Her father died 6 months ago, leaving her with $200,000 in debt to some very unpleasant people. She's working 3 jobs, caring for a sick mother, putting her sister through college. She needs this yacht position because it pays triple what she's making now, and she's exactly the kind of woman men like you never notice. Why are you telling us this? Because I'm making you a bet. $500,000 from each of you. Winner takes all. $1.5 million. The challenge, make Athena Hart fall in love with you within 60 days. You want us to play with a desperate woman's emotions for your entertainment? I want to prove a point. Love isn't real. It's transactional. Everyone has a price. Every woman can be bought with the right currency. Money, power, attention. And every man is corruptible when his ego is challenged. Athena Hart will fall for one of you because she's desperate, and you'll fall for the game because you can't resist a challenge. I'm out. Find someone else for your experiment. Even if I told you that Athena's father was David Hart, your former business partner who died broke and disgraced after your shared venture collapsed. Lucas froze. The room temperature dropped 10 degrees. I thought that might interest you. Athena has no idea you exist, no idea her father once worked with you. Wouldn't you like to make amends, protect her from afar? What's your angle, Victoria? You don't do anything without a reason. My angle is proving that love is a lie we tell ourselves to justify transactions. When my husband left me for his secretary, he claimed it was true love. It wasn't. It was a 25-year-old with no moral compass and a man having a midlife crisis. I lost half my empire in the divorce. So yes, I have an angle. I want to watch love fail. I want to prove it's always about something else. Quietly. And if we refuse? Then you miss out on the most interesting summer of your lives. But you won't refuse. Lucas wants to assuage his guilt. Tanner wants to prove he's more than his Instagram following. And you, Andre, you want to feel something again after what happened in Kabul. The 3 men exchanged glances. Victoria had done her research. She knew exactly where to press. One more thing, this stays between us. Athena can never know about the bet, and you can't tell each other what you're doing. For all she knows, you each developed independent interest in her. If I do this, it's not for your bet. It's because I owe David Hart's daughter protection. Tell yourself whatever you need to, darling. Do we have a deal? One by one, they nodded. Excellent. Athena Hart starts work in 3 days. May the best billionaire win. She poured champagne. The 3 men didn't touch their glasses. ATHVO. But what Victoria didn't know was that I was about to play them all. 3 days earlier, Chicago. The train rattled through the South Side. Athena Hart, 27, exhausted in 3 layers of work uniforms, checked her phone for the 100th time. The text was still there. Final notice, $200,000 due in 45 days. Don't make us come find you. See Castellano. Athena's hands shook as she deleted it. Again, as if deleting the message would delete the debt that was crushing her family. Athena, you okay? Vanessa Hart, 22, college student with hope still in her eyes, looked up from her laptop. Forcing smile. Fine, V, just tired. At 27, Athena felt ancient. 3 jobs, 4 hours of sleep a night, the weight of keeping her family afloat was grinding her into dust. Interior Hart apartment, continuous. Small, cramped, but clean. Their mother, Grace Hart, 52, sat by the window staring at nothing. Early onset Alzheimer's. Another bill Athena couldn't afford. Did you get that yacht job? Interview tomorrow in Miami. If I get it, it pays $3,000 a week plus room and board. That's enough to make a dent in the debt. Not enough to pay it all. Never enough. Knock at the door. Athena's blood turned to ice. She looked through the peephole. 2 large men in suits, Constantine's collectors. Athena Hart, we know you're in there. Mr. Castellano would like to speak with you. Grabbing Vanessa's arm. Fire escape. Now. What? Athena. Now. Exterior Chicago alley. They ran. Down the fire escape, through back alleys, Athena's lungs burning. Behind them, the apartment door splintered. Gasping. Who are they? The people Dad borrowed from, the people who want their money. They ducked into a 24-hour diner. Athena's phone buzzed. Unknown. You can't run forever. 45 days, Miss Hart. Then we stop being polite. 30 seconds later, Nina Cole called. Girl, please tell me you're sitting down. Nina, not now. You got the yacht job. They want you in Miami tomorrow. 3-week charter through the Caribbean, $3,000 a week, all expenses paid. Athena closed her eyes. It wasn't enough to save her, but it was a start. And more importantly, it was 1,500 miles away from Constantine Castellano's men. I'll take it. She didn't know she was running directly into the lion's den. Exterior Miami Marina, day. The Meridian was obscene. 200 feet of gleaming white luxury anchored among other mega yachts like a queen among princesses. Athena stood on the dock with her single battered suitcase, feeling like a smudge on a perfect canvas. You must be Athena. Nina Cole, 26, all smiles and yacht crew whites, appeared like a lifeline. I'm so glad you made it. Come on, I'll show you around. Interior, the Meridian. Marble, teak, chrome, a hot tub, a helicopter pad. This was how the other 0.001% lived. So the guest list for this charter, 3 guys, all billionaires, all single, all gorgeous. Athena's stomach dropped. Please tell me we're not expected to... God, no. Strictly professional. But girl, eye candy never hurt anyone. There's Lucas Reed. He actually owns the yacht. Then there's Tanner Castellano, some Instagram... Castellano? Yeah, you know him? He's got like 50 million followers. Total influencer type. And then Andre Wallace, former Navy SEAL, runs some private security empire. They chartered the yacht for 3 weeks. Castellano. It had to be a coincidence. It wasn't. Athena was unpacking when the yacht lurched. They were leaving port. She went up to the deck to watch Miami disappear. Beautiful, isn't it? Athena spun around. The man was tall, dark-skinned, with the kind of face that belonged in boardrooms and on billboards. He wore a captain's uniform like he was born in it. Lucas Reed, I own this vessel. Shaking his hand. Athena Hart, new stewardess. His hand completely engulfed hers. Warm, strong, safe. I know, you come highly recommended. There was something in his voice, something that made her think he knew more than he was saying. I'll work hard, sir. Lucas, we don't stand on formality here. Welcome aboard, Athena. I think this is going to be an interesting journey. He walked away, leaving Athena with the strangest feeling that she'd just been evaluated and catalogued and claimed. Int crew mess that night. To Athena. Okay, so Lucas is intense. What about the other two? As if summoned, the door opened. Tanner Castellano walked in, and Athena's worst fears were confirmed. He looked exactly like the photos on Constantine Castellano's desk. Same sharp features, same easy smile. The loan shark's son. Here, on this yacht, with her. Huge megawatt smile. Hey, you must be the new girl. I'm Tanner. Sorry to invade your space. I was looking for... Is that homemade bread? Nina, you goddess. He was charming, effortlessly so, nothing like his father. Finding her voice. Athena. Beautiful name for a beautiful woman. Are you on Instagram? I'd love to. I'm not really into social media. A woman after my own heart. Everyone's so fake online, right? But seriously, let me get your number. You know, in case you need anything during the charter. Nina kicked Athena under the table. He's flirting with you. Before Athena could respond, another man appeared in the doorway. Andre Wallace looked like he could break someone in half without trying. Muscular, intense, with scars on his hands that told stories he'd never share. Tanner, stop harassing the staff. I'm not harassing, I'm networking. Eyes landing on Athena. You're new. Athena. Andre. You need anything? Protection, someone dealt with, a country invaded. Let me know. He's joking, mostly. After they left, Athena turned to Nina. What the hell was that? That was 3 billionaires noticing you exist. Congrats, babe. You just became the most interesting thing on this yacht. Athena's phone buzzed. Unknown. 45 days. She was trapped on a yacht with her father's loan shark's son, and she had 45 days to come up with $200,000. This was going to be a nightmare. Day 5, Caribbean Sea. Lucas started leaving her books. Not overtly, just on the deck chair where she took her breaks. Always something she'd like. Philosophy, classic literature, poetry. Found this in the library, he'd say casually. Thought you might enjoy it. Tanner started appearing wherever she was. Crazy running into you here, even though it was a 200-foot yacht with limited spaces. Andre was different, quieter. He'd just be there when she carried heavy supplies, when the seas got rough. Silent support. Day 7. Upper deck salon. Athena was cleaning when voices drifted from the balcony above. So, how's your progress with our lovely stewardess? Athena froze. I don't want to discuss this. Oh, come on, we're a week in. Someone must be winning. Andre, ... This was a mistake, Victoria. She's not a game. Isn't she, though? Tanner, you've been very quiet. Losing your touch? I'm doing fine. Well, the clock is ticking, gentlemen. 53 days left. $500,000 each. Winner takes all when one of you gets her to say those 3 magic words. I love you. First one wins $1.5 million. Athena's vision blurred. A bet. She was a $1.5 million bet. All of it. The books, the attention, the kindness. It was all a game for their entertainment. She ran. Athena slammed the door, pressing her back against it, breathing hard. $500,000. They each put in $500,000 to win her. They think they're playing me, but here's what they don't know. She pulled out a notebook, started writing. I need $200,000. The winner gets $1.5 million. So here's the question. If you were me and you found out your life was a bet, would you take the money or the man? She smiled at her reflection, cold, calculated. Tell me in the comments, because I'm still deciding. Int Nina's cabin, later. Are you insane? These are billionaires. They'll destroy you. They're already playing with me like I'm a toy. I'm just changing the rules. How are you going to do this? Easy. Lucas wants to protect me. He feels guilty about something. I can see it in his eyes. I'll figure out what and use it. Tanner wants attention and validation. He's used to getting anything he wants. I'll be the one thing he can't quite catch. Andre wants to feel something real after whatever broke him. I'll be real enough to hook him, mysterious enough to keep him interested. Who are you, and what did you do with my sweet friend? She died when she found out she was a $500,000 bet. Let the games begin. Day 10. The Lucas play. Athena accidentally left her father's photograph in the library where Lucas would find it. That evening, he came to her. Your father was David Hart. You knew him? We were business partners 10 years ago. We had a venture that, Athena, when it collapsed, I had money to absorb the loss. He didn't. I tried to help him, but he was too proud. He disappeared. I didn't know that he'd borrowed from loan sharks, that he'd left his family in debt, that he'd drunk himself to death. Her voice broke, real pain mixing with performance. How much do you owe? $200,000. She watched him process this, saw the guilt war with something else. I can help. No, I won't be anyone's charity case. I'll handle it myself. She left him standing there, drowning in guilt. Perfect, she thought. I knew the rules of their game. Now I was going to write my own. To win, I had to be 3 different women at once. Athena dusted a shelf, then accidentally dropped a weathered photo of her father. Lucas walked in. He froze, seeing the photo. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought this on board. David Hart, he was a good man, Athena. You talk about him like you knew his soul, Lucas. Most people only knew his failures. She left the room. Lucas watched her go, the guilt visible in his eyes. Sundeck, golden hour. Athena folded towels. Tanner was nearby, staring at his phone, but he wasn't scrolling. He was watching her. Is the Wi-Fi down, Tanner? You look lost without a screen. I think I've just realized the view behind the screen is fake. Then stop performing. Show me something real, and maybe I'll show you something real back. She walked past him, her hand brushing his arm long enough to be intentional. Tanner forgot to breathe. Int galley, night. A storm brewing. The yacht lurched. Athena struggled with a heavy crate of supplies. Andre appeared like a shadow, taking the weight easily. You're pushing yourself too hard. I have to. No one is coming to save me, Andre. Someone is always watching, Athena. You just have to trust the right person. He didn't flirt, didn't smile, just stood there, a human shield between her and the world. Int library. Lucas reached for a book Athena had been reading, found a note inside. Some debts can never be repaid. Some guilt lasts forever, unless someone gives you permission to let it go. He stared at her handwriting, his jaw clenching. Tanner deleted his Instagram post mid-caption. For the first time in years, he didn't care about the performance. He cared about the woman folding towels like it was art.
Int, Jim, night. Andre punched the heavy bag, each hit precise, controlled, deadly. He stopped mid-punch, seeing Athena's reflection in the mirror as she walked past outside. His hands unclenched. Int, Athena's cabin, night. Athena sat at her small desk, 3 items laid out before her. The rare first edition book Lucas got her, a handwritten note from Tanner, no emojis, no hashtags, just raw words. A tactical flashlight Andre gave her for emergencies. Lucas wants to be my savior. Tanner wants to be my escape. Andre wants to be my protector. They think they're buying my heart for $500,000, but they're actually paying for a mirror, and they're starting to hate what they see.
At the main deck, formal dinner night. Victoria had ordered a formal dinner. The tension was thick enough to cut with a steak knife. Athena served champagne in a simple black uniform that somehow made every other woman look overdressed. Lucas watched Tanner make Athena laugh. His grip on his glass tightened until the stem nearly snapped. Andre stood in the corner, eyes tracking not the perimeter, but Lucas and Tanner. He knew about the bet. He hated them for it. Victoria leaned back, whispering to no one, "Look at them. They've forgotten the money. They've forgotten the bet. They're actually fighting for her." The best way to play a billionaire? Make him realize that for the first time in his life, his money is the least interesting thing about him. "I know what you're doing." "Really? What am I doing, Lucas?" "You're playing us, all of us, and I don't even care, because watching you take control is the most attractive thing I've ever seen." "Then you should know, I play to win." She walked away, leaving Lucas standing in the galley, harder than he'd ever been and more lost than he'd felt since David Hart died. Tanner found Athena staring at the stars. "My father is Constantine Castellano." Athena went still. "I've known who you were since before you stepped on this yacht. Victoria told me about your debt, about my father holding it. And you didn't think to mention this?" "I was ashamed. I'm still ashamed. But, Athena, I've been transferring money from my personal accounts, not my father's empire, mine, the money I made, myself. It's almost $200,000, enough to pay your debt." "Why?" "Because for the first time in my life, I'm doing something that isn't about followers or approval or living up to my father's empire. I'm doing something because it's right." He walked away, leaving Athena staring at the ocean, wondering if any of this was still a game. Athena caught her reflection in the window. The Miami skyline glowed in the distance. She looked expensive, she looked loved, but her eyes were cold. "Don't forget why you're here. $200,000, 20 days left. Don't make me come collect." But her hands shook as she said it, because somewhere between the games and the strategies and the manipulation, something real had grown, and she had no idea what to do about it. They docked for supplies. Athena went ashore, desperate for space to think. She was in the market when she saw him, Constantine Castellano, Tanner's father, the loan shark, the man who wanted to hurt her family. He was with 2 of his men, conducting business. Athena ducked behind a stall. Her phone buzzed. "Costa, I know you're on that yacht, Athena. I know you're with my son. 20 days left. Don't make me come collect." "Athena?" She spun. Tanner stood there, shopping bags in hand. "What are you doing here? I thought you were on the yacht." He saw her expression, followed her gaze. His face went white. "He's here." "Your father is the loan shark? Your father is the one who what? Athena, what does my father have to do with you?" She told him everything. The debt, the threats, the $200,000, the 20 days. Tanner looked like he'd been shot. "You think I'm working with him? You think I'm here to... I don't know what to think. I left his empire. I built my own life. I've spent years trying not to be my father's son." His voice cracked. "And you, God, Athena, I was falling for you, really falling, not because of some stupid bet, but because you're the first real thing I felt in years." The bet? You mean the $500,000 bet to make me fall in love with you? Tanner froze. Yeah, I know. I've known since day 7. Athena, save it. She ran, through the market, back to the dock, onto the yacht, and finally let herself cry. There was a knock. Athena, we need to talk. She opened the door. He stood there, still in his captain's uniform, looking exhausted. My father and I were partners. The business that ruined him, I pushed for it. I was young, arrogant, thought I knew everything. When it failed, I had family money to fall back on. David didn't. I offered to help, but he refused. 3 months later, I heard he died. His voice cracked. I've spent 10 years wondering if I could have saved him, if I'd pushed harder, helped more. When Victoria told me his daughter needed a job, needed protection, I thought this was my chance to make it right. So this is about your guilt. It was, at first. But Athena, you're not your father. You're brilliant and strong and so goddamn brave it terrifies me. I'm not protecting you because I owe David Hart. I'm protecting you because the thought of anything happening to you makes me unable to breathe. The bet was Victoria's game. I agreed because it gave me an excuse to watch over you, to keep you close, to fall in love with you without admitting that's what was happening. Lucas, I know you know about the bed, about everything, and I know you've been playing us, trying to manipulate your way to the money you need. I don't care. Use me. Play me. I'll give you whatever you need. Just stay, please. Athena's phone buzzed. Costa, 19 days. I'm getting impatient. Lucas saw it. His face hardened. Castellano is threatening you? It's none of your business. It's everything to do with me. Athena, let me help. I don't need a savior. I know. You need $200,000. I can write you a check right now. No, I won't be in debt to anyone else, not even you. Lucas looked at her with such raw emotion it hurt. Then what do you need? I need to know what's real. Are you here because of your guilt, the bet, or is there something? Lucas closed the distance in 2 strides and kissed her. It was desperate, honest, real. His hands cupped her face like she was precious, breakable, essential. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Lucas pressed his forehead to hers. That's what's real. Everything else is just noise.
The next morning, day 26. Andre found Athena on the deck at sunrise. I need to tell you something. If this is about the bet, I never participated. Victoria approached me. I refused, told her she was sick for even suggesting it. I'm on this yacht because Lucas hired me to provide security. That's it. Athena stared. Because from the first moment I saw you, I knew you were different, real, the first real thing I'd felt since Kabul. Andre, I have PTSD, survivor's guilt. I can't sleep without seeing my team die. I can't let people close because everyone I've ever protected ended up dead. His voice was raw. But you made me want to try, want to feel, His phone rang. He answered, face going pale. When? How many? I'll be there in 20 minutes. He hung up, already moving. There's a situation in Miami. Security threat. I have to go. Andre? He turned back, just for a moment. I wasn't playing a game, Athena. I was falling in love. Remember that. Then he was gone. That afternoon, day 26. Tanner. Don't. Whatever you're going to say, just don't. My father is the reason your family is suffering. My blood, my legacy. I can't change that. No, you can't. But I can change what happens next. I've been transferring money from my personal accounts all night. Not my father's money, mine. The money I made myself. It's $200,000, enough to pay your debt. Athena's world stopped. I'm also cutting ties with my father, completely. I've already called my lawyer. By tomorrow, I'll be legally emancipated from the Castellano Empire. No inheritance, no connections, just me. You can't? I can, and I am, because I'm not my father, and I'm not going to let his sins destroy someone He stopped. Someone you what? Someone I love. I know it's crazy. I know we barely know each other. I know you have every reason to hate me. But somewhere between the Instagram posts and the games and the bullshit, I fell for you. Really fell. And I need you to know that before what? Before my father comes to collect what he thinks he's owed. Day 27. Evening. St. Bart's. The sky was bruised purple, Caribbean sunset turning violent. Then they heard it, the roar of helicopter rotors cutting through paradise. They say every man has a price, but Constantine Castellano doesn't buy people, he owns the debt they're made of. A blacked-out Eurocopter descended with predatory precision. Constantine Castellano stepped out. He didn't look like a mobster. He looked like a Fortune 500 CEO who harvested souls for breakfast. Expensive suit, cold smile, eyes that calculated worth in seconds. What a beautiful evening for a family reunion. Lucas stepped forward, positioning himself between Constantine and Athena. You're trespassing on private registry, Constantine. Get off my deck. Your deck? Victoria, tell the boy who actually holds the paper on this fleet. Victoria appeared from the lounge, champagne in hand. Business is business, Lucas. I only take winners. Miss Hart, you're harder to pin down than your father was. My father's debts died with him. Funny, the law disagrees, as does the contract he signed transferring liability to his estate, which means you. Tanner stepped forward, pale but firm. Dad. Tanner, I hear you've been making poor financial decisions, transferring money to debtors, cutting family ties. His voice was soft, lethal. We need to talk about your future. I don't have a future with you. I'm done with the empire, with the name, with all of it. You're done when I say you're done. You're my son. I'm my own man. You'd throw away billions for some girl, some desperate little nobody who's probably already sleeping with everyone on this yacht. Tanner moved before anyone could stop him, his fist connected with his father's jaw. Constantine's men reached for weapons, and 3 red laser dots appeared, one on Constantine's forehead, one on his chest, one on his groin. Everyone froze.
Nobody move. I have 3 ex-Special Forces snipers currently painting your vitals from the shoreline. Andre emerged from the shadow of the bridge, holding a tablet showing 3 different sniper scopes locked on target. He looked less like a guest and more like a warlord. Your security detail is amateur, Constantine. My team hacked your flight path 10 minutes ago. If your men so much as sneeze, you don't leave this island. The air crackled with violence waiting to happen. It's over, Constantine. I didn't just pay Athena's debt. I spent the last 3 hours buying the predatory lending firm you used to launder your off-book collections. He showed Constantine the screen. Legal documents, acquisition papers. I own the company now, which means I own your paper, which means Athena's debt is canceled. And if you or your men come near her or her family again, he leaned in close. I'll burn your legitimate empire to the ground and dance in the ashes. Constantine looked at the laser dots, then at his son, then at Lucas. He realized he'd been outplayed by 3 different types of power: Lucas's capital, Andre's force, and Tanner's sacrifice. You spent months trying to make me feel small, but look at you now, surrounded by men who actually have something to lose. She moved closer, fearless. I have nothing, and that makes me the most dangerous person on this boat. So here's what's going to happen, Mr. Castellano. You're going to get back on that helicopter, you're going to leave my family alone, and you're going to spend the rest of your life wondering how a desperate little nobody beat you at your own game." Constantine stared at her, then smiled. "You'll regret this, son. Poverty is a long, cold road. I'd rather be cold with her than rich with you." Constantine, to Lucas, "Enjoy your victory, Reed. But remember, I don't forget debts." "Neither do I. That's why I'm collecting on the one you owe David Hart's daughter." Constantine's jaw tightened. He gestured to his men. They retreated to the helicopter, laser dots following their every move. As the helicopter lifted off, the downdraft blew Athena's hair back. She stood between 3 billionaires. The bet was dead. The debt was gone. But the real conflict, the one in her heart, was just beginning. 2 weeks later, the sun was bright, reflecting off the glass towers of Brickell. Athena wasn't in her crew whites anymore. She wore a sharp, tailored cream suit, walked down the gangplank of the Meridian for the last time. Victoria was wrong. Love isn't a transaction, but it is an investment, and sometimes you have to burn the old world down to build a new one. A glass door was being etched with new gold lettering, Hart and Castellano, high-stakes crisis management. Inside, Tanner was on the phone. He looked revitalized, no longer the influencer son. He looked like a man with purpose. That was the first client. They don't care about the Castellano name. They care that we know how to beat it. He hung up as Athena walked in. "I told you, you were always more than your father's bank account." They shared a brief, grounding kiss. This was real. "By the way, remember that tech startup I invested in 3 years ago? The one everyone said would fail? Yeah? It just went public. I'm a billionaire again, on my own terms." Athena laughed, actually laughed. "So I'm dating a self-made billionaire now? You're partnering with one. There's a difference." A black SUV pulled up to the curb. The window rolled down. He looked at the new office, then at Athena. "The debt is officially cleared, Athena, and I've transferred the remaining $1.5 million from the bet into a trust for your sister's education and your mother's care." "Lucas, you don't owe me that. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for David, and because I'd rather see you build an empire than be a part of mine." He looked at Tanner. A silent moment passed between them. Respect, acknowledgement, truth. "You did something I couldn't. You gave up the money. You taught me that protecting someone means letting them choose their own path." Lucas nodded once, then drove away. On a different yacht across the bay, Andre lowered his binoculars. He'd been watching, making sure she was safe. Through the scope, he saw Athena turn back to her office, saw her take Tanner's hand, saw her smile. Andre nodded to himself, then disappeared into the cabin. His job was done. She was protected. She was happy. That was enough. Athena looked out at the bay. The Meridian was still docked in the distance. Victoria Sloan wanted to watch love fail, but she forgot one thing. When you play with fire, you don't just prove it's hot. You learn how to use it to forge something that can never be broken. Tanner came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist. Regrets? Not a single one. Not even turning down 2 other billionaires? "I didn't choose the richest man. I chose the one who chose me over everything else." They kissed. Outside, Miami glittered with promise. Inside, 2 people who'd lost everything built something worth keeping. Victoria Sloan's bet proved one thing: love isn't transactional, but it is transformational. Which billionaire would you have chosen? Lucas the protector, Andre the shadow, or Tanner the rebel? Cast your vote in the comments right now. I'm reading every single one. And if you want to see what happened to Victoria, or if Constantine ever forgives Tanner, or if Andre finds his own happy ending, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Comment Yacht Queen if you loved this story.